Whilst I make these videos with the intention of being entertaining to you guys, I also want to talk about new business ideas that I'm trying myself and hopefully help to build my empire. Now today I want to talk about one of my historical business ideas, which looking into 2024 is actually one of the best times to start because now it appears to be even more profitable than ever. I'm going to tell you about how you can start this business, which can make you easily upwards of £300 in a single hour, how I started it, how I got into it, and what you need to do to make this all work. So if you enjoy videos like this one, don't forget to like and subscribe, share it with a friend, and watch until the end because there's a lot that you'll be able to learn from this episode. But let's talk about how I got into this business model first. Now it will be no secret to long-term viewers of the channel that I've been trying business ideas for years. When I was about 14 I started reselling stuff online, but it wasn't really sort of like the business that we have now where we made countless sales per day. I was really selling about 1 or 2 phones a month, normally iPhone 4s or 5s, and that made me a small amount of money. Not bad for a 14-year-old, but nothing to really shout home about. Where I discovered the biggest reselling profit though, was not where I was trying to make money, but where I was actually trying to save it. Around the same age, my Xbox 360 was getting too old. I didn't want to play that anymore, but I needed some solution for 14-year-old me to play games on. So what did I do? I turned to the world of PC gaming. So I got to work looking online for different PCs, but everything was hundreds of pounds, if not thousands of pounds. And as a young teenager, I couldn't afford that. The maximum I could afford was probably £300 or £400. So if I wanted to afford a gaming PC, I would have to think about things a different way. And this is where the genius strategy comes in. You see, the thing about gaming PCs is a lot of them online are not that highly spec'd. If anything, they're mocked up because somebody has to build them, and simply put, because they can be. When you look at the spec sheet, the actual products are not that expensive, but there's ways that you can get these products, a lot of them for absolutely free, if not extremely cheap. You see, I found out that most of these gaming PCs were powered by i5s or i7s, and at the time, these were very easily accessible. A lot of schools had them, a lot of offices had them, and they were everywhere to be found. But this gave me a brilliant opportunity. I realised that to build a gaming PC was not about having a fancy case or any of that sort of stuff. You just need to have decent specs, and you can get a lot of these specs completely for free. So I went on Facebook Marketplace and was able to find myself a free Dell PC. It had an i5, 8GB of RAM, and a free hard drive included, so not bad. All I needed to do to this computer was add a little bit more RAM, I wanted to add a SSD, and I wanted to also add a graphics card. And this was again about 5 years ago or so, and what you're seeing behind me now, this monitor, is being powered by that same PC, so it's clearly lasted a long time. But why am I telling this story, and how is this a business that anybody can get into? Well, don't worry, because it all ties in very well together. What I did back then is I saved money by building a PC, but what I now know is I could mark the same product up for a much higher price and make a decent amount of profit on it. So I thought, into 2023, how well does this side hustle work? How well does this business idea work? So I crunched the figures on newer computers and found out how this works for the modern day, and you would be absolutely amazed. Now, whilst this PC here holds up very well in 2023, if we want to make money selling a product, we're not really going to be able to sell stuff from 2012, 13, 14, 15 or 16. We need more modern computers and more modern graphics cards. To test the current market, I went onto eBay and saw if I could find anybody selling the whole Dell gaming computer anymore, and I was absolutely amazed at what I found. Now, I was looking online, I was able to find within a couple of minutes on eBay a computer which was a Dell Optiplex, I believe. It had an i7 4th generation, so not really that new. It had 32GB of DDR3 RAM, it had a 2TB hard drive, and it had a 4GB GPU. Now, this might not make a lot of sense to you, but let me explain what this really means. This computer is an office computer which has had a few modifications done to it to make it a fairly formidable gaming computer. The price for this device, though, on eBay right now is £619. So how do we go about getting a bit of that juicy profit? It's actually a lot easier than you'd think. I went on eBay to find out how much each of these parts could cost and where we could get them all from. Now, for the actual computer, it was fairly easy. A lot of these computers you can find either for free or very cheap because they're often on office outlets. Now, the computer that I chose to go with was the same one that I found on the eBay listing previously. The computer is a Dell T1700. This computer comes with a 240GB SSD, it comes with an i7, and it comes with 8GB of RAM. So a lot of the stuff that we need to build that gaming computer is already there. We have the SSD, we have some RAM, and we have of course the i7 processor. But talk about money saving here, this product costs only £100 and £120 if we include shipping. So already spending only £100, we've got most of the components that we need to build the same listing that the person on eBay had. But how do we go about assembling the rest of the computer? Well, this is actually quite easy. I had a look at how much each of these components would cost to build the same format computer as the person from the eBay listing and see how much money we can make from that. As I just mentioned, our total PC costs would probably be about £120, but we could probably get that down a bit if we sent in an offer or if we found a better listing, but £120 is a very conservative estimate for the PC. Now, to build the same spec computer, we will need the same spec components. So I decided that we're going to put in a 2TB hard drive on top of our SSD for a total cost of only £16. That's another component which is built in. Our current computer has only 8GB of RAM, so we're going to have to add in an extra 3 sticks of 8GB RAM to create a 32GB system. Now this is going to cost us £24, but that's fairly easy to do, and again that's only a small cost to add to our listing. Our biggest additional cost is going to be our 1650 graphics card, which is going to cost us an additional £100 on the second-hand market. Now all of this stuff is extremely easy to fit in, it's literally a case of click and slot. I've done it myself. I'm going to speak more about that in the future, but it's very easy to do and anybody can learn to do this in probably an hour or so. And for the people saying that you might need to upgrade a power supply, you don't really need to, as a lot of these components will not suck any more juice than the initial power required. However, if we did for whatever reason want to upgrade our power supply or need to, that would not be an extra cost of a very significant value, and even if we wanted to add an extra fancy case for an element which makes the computer look a lot better, we are going to add only an extra £32 to our costs. So accounting for the case, we need to spend a total of £292, and if we don't account for that case, it gets even cheaper and we spend only £260. Now, assuming that we spent £260 on building this computer, we would have a profit of £359, which is very, very impressive if you ask me. So literally an hour's worth of work to build a computer which we can sell for over £300 in profit. All we have to do is be a little bit smart, find the components that we need for a cheaper value, whether it's on the used market or something like that, and then sell that on eBay, Facebook Marketplace or somewhere alike for a higher price which people are willing to pay because they don't want to build the computer themselves. Bear in mind we get a free copy of Windows 10 and all the other components which will naturally be included in the computer because they're part of its natural running anyway. Now I know what you guys are probably thinking, that's all well and good, but no one's going to buy this for a £350 markup. Well, guess what? The eBay listing that we just looked at a moment ago has sold approximately 48 times. 48 times for this computer. This person has made a lot of money just by doing this very simple method which I spoke about here. Now obviously the profit for that is going to be crazy, even if we account for eBay fees. But if we sell this on something like Facebook Marketplace, there are no fees, so it's even better, or Amazon where the fees are a little bit lower. The truth is, guys, you don't need to be a genius to make money online, and you don't need to be a genius to make a lot of money. This is something which you can do as a hobby. If you were to do 2, 3 or 4 computers a week, which is very easily doable as a side hustle, as a hobby, you could make hundreds of pounds per time. This is a very easy idea, and I think it's something that everybody should give a go. But I want to know in the comment section, what do you guys want to see? Do you want to see me do a bit more of this? Because I am definitely going to submit an offer for the computer which is featured in this video as a listing. I'm going to offer them £80 for it, and I will let you guys know if I bought it. If it has been paid for £80, I will have bought the whole computer for a total of £100 with shipping, and I will see how much I can modify it and sell it on for, because I really do believe that this is a great business that anybody can get into in 2023 and 4. So I know on this channel we talk about a lot of different business ideas, and I know, like I just said a minute ago, I want to try different business ideas because I'm trying to add things to my business portfolio myself. But I think this one is unlike the stock trading or the drop shipping where you might need to have, a different set of skills. This is literally, can you buy something for cheap? Yes. Can you spend 50 minutes fixing it up? Yes. Can you make a lot of profit on that? Absolutely. This is a lot easier than phone fixing because the components are so much larger, and all it is literally a click and slot in thing. It's very easy for anybody to do. So I definitely recommend this side hustle into 2024. I'm going to give it a go myself. Like I said, I'm going to sell it, see how much I can buy the PC for, and I'll keep you guys updated on the journey. So thank you for watching this one. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, as we do cover all different sorts of side hustles on this channel. Thank you, and again, see you very soon. Goodbye.